Hello, guys. This is Jace, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be showing a time lapse of this puppy drawn with soft pastels, and these are the materials I used. Please leave a like and subscribe to this channel so you can get more videos like this. So let's dive right into it. So first off, what I usually start with for my pastels drawing is the background, because working on the background always helps to give you like project your subject on your paper and gives it more visibility, so you can actually work on your tones and colors. And for this background, I'm going with a gradient from like a black to brown gradient. Then so have this vignette effects. So just trying to make that background and getting it right. This is actually a very simple background. I do some complicated background in other of my drawings, but I decided to go with something simple this time around. So working on the arts, majorly what you do first of all is just trying to get those right pigments. You don't have to start worrying about details at the beginning part. What you have to do is just try to get those underlying colors before you try to see if you can add your effects, which are the highlights and the falls and all that. But if your underlying layers are not accurate, if the colors are not right, it see that it's just going to look rough, and trying to go back in after adding your highlights to get those underlying colors right is just going to mess up your entire drawing. So there's a bulk work in getting the underlying layers is the very important part, because that's what really projects the realism and um, the effects of the details that you add later on. Like as you can see, after getting the base color of my subjects, started adding the highlights with different shades of pencils according to my reference. You should always pay close attention to your reference, because that's what will give you the realism you're looking for. As I always say, it's always nice to draw what you see. Drawing what you see really helps, but you should not be constrained by it. So you should draw what you see, but do not be constrained by it. You can play around with the colors for probably the aesthetic. Play around with the colors so you can get that more beautifying look, even if it's not really what's on your reference. You can give it a different tone, a different shade, just for the aesthetics, to make it look more attractive, more colorful, perhaps, if that's what you are going for. Just like this dog right here that we're drawing. So there's a lot of stuff involved in pastel drawings. Like you see, I blend with my hands and a makeshift blending tool, which I used a palette knife and some materials so I can blend those tiny areas easily. So basically, it's just getting those deep background layer underneath before trying to add the highlights, because that's what is more visible. That's the basic. I see most people jumping into trying to get the four, creating highlights from the go, which we end them making their work look messy, because there won't be probably too much brown here, and they want to go in, add a shade of brown underneath, thereby cleaning up the highlight and restarting afresh, and so on and so forth. So it's always nice to just first of all get that background layer underneath, get it really, get in the right shade, get in the right tone, kind of just blocking, like in pencil drawing, charcoal drawing, we call it blocking. You just block block those dark lights with your colors at first before you start worrying about details and realism. So after getting your background colors right, so adding the details should be a piece of work because you're just trying to get those small details, those highlights on the fore of this of your subject. So it's just going to be adding one or two fours with different colors here and there. But the main work has already been done by the background layer, so it's not like the fall is just bringing it, making it pop in a way. But the background colors has already played a crucial role in the drawing, and that's why it looks more way. It looks like, oh, it's fall is popping out. That's just because the background is already being laid out, like kind of like the foundation. So that's just the most important part of it. Then just majorly the key about drawing the fur or the skin of the dog is to move your details in the direction of the skin pores, because if it's going left and you're going right, it's just going to look very awkward. You have to draw it in the same direction. If it's curvy, you bend it. If it's straight, you bend it as well to that same direction. That's what gives it that transient look. It's basically just feeling it, be one with your drawing, kind of in a way. Just be one with the drawing, and over time you get used to directions and using your reference constantly. You'll be able to tell how to move this shape in what direction and others. Majorly it's just practice though. Practice make perfect, they say. So if you just keep on doing same thing over and over again, and with time you can realize that you've really done, or you are now more better than you were when you eventually started. If you're enjoying this video and you want to get more videos like this for maybe to practice or to learn and finish your own personal projects, you can actually subscribe to this channel. I'll do my best to post as much as I can. I want to make this a habit of posting as much as I can, because it's making these videos can really be time consuming and stressful. But I have planned to post possibly as much as I can all my works, because I work with on different medium. I work with color pencil, I work with charcoal, and I work with pen and paints, oil paints as well. So I plan on posting a lot of my work. So please subscribe to support me, and also like this video if you at least learned something from it as we go on. Thank you. So for the very bright highlight, I use a highlighter or correction pen just to get that really brightness in some of those, like in the eyes, that glow. Because since this is a color paper, some of the whites won't be as bright as some of these equipment. So I use the highlighter to get some of those very bright whites, like on the nose. You can see the shiny aspect on the nose was done with a highlighter or a correction pen. Then on the eyes, it was also present there, just to give it that more shiny looks and glow. And when you're working with colors, there's no color that, oh, you can say, oh, this color can be here. Like in this dog, when you look at your reference, you might not see it clearly, but it's over time you just get the eye and you can just tell, oh, this is pinkish brown in a way. So you just know what color to use on each places. Like at the neck area of the dog, there's kind of a pinkish glow which you might not really see for the first time, but when you've done this over time, you get to realize some of the colors and know how to work on it. So that's why I had this pinkish glow on the neck before adding a brownish tone to dull it down and make it more realistic. I majorly work with the pastels and not the pencil. I normally use the pencil for just the highlights and the detailing, but I majorly work with the pastels to fill in my shape. It fills in the shapes faster and blocks faster, so I prefer it that way. And sometimes maybe if based on the edge has become too rounded or too big to get some into, I break off the pastels, like breaking it into two so I can get more sharp edges so I can use it in adding more details on. I think another good reason why you should work on your background first, no matter how complicated it is because it's the background. It's actually behind your subject, right? So it's usually much more better when it's done first. So you can actually get some strands, or probably like in a human character, like the hair, or kind of like the whiskers coming out from this dog. You can get it out easily without having it affect your background, because now if I had done this before doing the background, I have to go back into the background when making the background and probably clean off these whiskers again. And even a major part of the subject, like um, the entire body around the subject, would have to be rubbed off if I had done the drawing before I started doing the background. But now it just pops out of and stays behind the background because it's already been done already. So that's one of the good reasons of doing your background first before drawing your subject. Gives you that 3D look, like it's just sitting on the background there on its own, and that's just very very important and gives it more realism. So we're almost coming to the end of this video. Please, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please like this video and subscribe to this channel so you can see more of my works and tutorials as well.